This is Tech Talk. I'm Maria Montero, and we are at VivaTech in Paris with over 100,000 visitors and 9,000 startups represented, including from Switzerland. They are looking to be the rendezvous of innovation for Europe. So, as you can imagine, lots to get through. Let's get started. I'm joined now by Pierre Louet. He is CEO of Les Echos, co-owner, co-organizer of this whole VivaTech event. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for being with us. It's a wonderful thing.
Now in your fourth year of VivaTech, is it where you expected it to be this far along?
Well, actually, we've grown rapidly in the two first years, and this year even more. So I think it's going to be a record event for us in terms of attendance, also in terms of the number of startups that came. But what I really want to underline is the fact that this is an event in which people gather, big corporations, small companies, and they make a lot of business. One thing that I want to stress is that last year about 33% of the startups that came have found fundings or contracts for their businesses. So it's a very business-to-business event on the two first days, and on Saturday it's open to the public. So it's a very different audience, and it brings us to more than 100,000 attendees.
Which is always the question, and in my mind too, is how do you gauge the success of these kinds of events?
How do we judge the success? Well, the success is when startups get to find what they want, contacts with large groups, when large groups also find the right partners for their own projects and developments, and also when you have the right contents, meaning that everybody here around us will learn something and will probably grab something from VivaTech and go home with something really positive.
Do you have any specific examples that come to mind of deals or so that have already happened this year?
Well, we had a lot of meetings actually between people who usually compete against each other, but they coexist, if you want, in VivaTech. We have companies that 3 years ago were really just beginning to have an idea, and today you see a prototype of a robot, of a flying car. Also we have a lot of examples coming from the LVMH awards, for instance, of companies that were hired by LVMH after having been introduced to them here, and they develop things around 3D profiling of clothing, also the way you can work on your retail, e-retail. So a lot of concrete examples have come up, a lot of what we call the VivaTech stories.
Now you're a businessman, so at the end of the day, you wouldn't be invested in this if you weren't going to make money, right?
No, you're right. It's very true. So in the first year, we lost a little bit of money, so it was the investment period. And since the second year, we're break-even and even more than break-even. I cannot really disclose the figures, but it's a very good event for us. And it's become one of the 3 top events in the world, which is great for us because it has put Publicis and Les Echos Le Parisien, the 2 co-founders and co-owners, on the top of the crowd, if you want. So we have the CES in Las Vegas, which is a very traditional event and a very large one. You have an event in Portugal and us now. So we're among the top 3 events in the world.
We're right in front of the Swiss Tech booth at the moment. What can you tell me about Switzerland?
Well, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. I met with the Swiss ambassador yesterday, and she was very excited and dedicated about the event. We know all the traditions of industry and technology in Switzerland, so it's very good that you're here, and I hope that you're going to be here next time and the time after, because it is very important for us to have Switzerland in the middle of Europe and in the middle of the tech, and I think you have a lot to tell, a lot to discover, and a lot of people come to see the booth also. So I think it's a great success for you too. You have also something to bring to us very much in terms of green technology and environment. So all of those things are here to be shared and here to be experienced also, because there are a lot of things that you can really experience. Not only see, not only talk, but you can see the future. One of the things that we say is that VivaTech gives you a good sight of the future, but it's already there, it's here. Many things that we will be brought to the public, to a larger audience in the coming years, are here to be discovered.
just spoke with Pierre Louet, he is CEO of Lezeco and one of the co-owners and organizers of VivaTech, and he was telling us about his impression of having Switzerland here, which fortunately is positive, but how much does Switzerland get out of being here? I'm joined now by Nicolas Bideau. Thank you so much for being with us at Présence Suisse. How much do you get out of being here?
Yes, it's a very important tech fair for Switzerland. It's it's next to Switzerland actually. I think for the market is huge in France, and this tech fair it's a young fair comparing, for instance, for the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, but it's a rising fair. You feel it. We were here last year, and it was really smaller. This year, I mean, you feel it. There is really a dynamic. You have a lot of interesting person to the Swiss companies. I mean, we have to be here.
It's important to clarify that Présence Suisse is the driving force behind what we see behind us, actually, which is the Swiss Tech, the Switzerland Pavilion this year, which is quite an investment. I mean, and it is an investment made, of course, as we know, with public money, because Présence Suisse is a public institution. Is it worthwhile? Are you getting a return on your investment here?
Well, I mean, maybe it's too soon to answer these questions. I mean, first of all, you maybe have to ask the questions to the companies that are with us here. Yesterday night we had an evening and asked these questions to all the companies that are with us at the Présence Suisse pavilion, and very positive answers. They told us that right here we have investors, we have clients, potential clients, a lot of questions, very interesting, much have been done so far. So yes, I think it's worth to be here. My goal is, of course, that they are happy, the companies, but my goal is to showcase Switzerland in a different way, because sometimes when I'm asked the questions, about Switzerland in the cab here, so the driver asked me the question, where are you from? Switzerland, and then I have cheese, bank, chocolate. I never have this tech dimension. That's why we're here, to change a bit the perception of the French people and all the world that is here about Switzerland. We are a tech nation, that's why it's important for us to invest in those tech fairs.
This fertility bracelet, mesdames et messieurs, is giving us very accurate information about the fertility peak of Madame. So what do we have today? Low fertility, no baby for this couple today. It's a pity. It's going to be for tomorrow.
We were together at CES, of course, in Las Vegas, and the theme there was drones. Here at VivaTech, I'm not seeing any drones. What am I looking at?
Yeah, because in Vegas, actually, I've been spying the other companies and the big companies from the US, and I felt a kind of a new dynamic. I think it's not anymore the tech for the tech. It's more why we need tech. And this questioning in CES, I made a journey with it, and I thought, let's maybe showcase the benefits of technology for the individuals. Why should you, me, and we all together benefit from technology? That's why I had this idea to leave the tech, the drone. It's a tech, it's tech, and you see it immediately. And I had the idea to showcase the life of a couple in a house and showcasing 10 tech companies and showcasing how come those tech companies, those devices are helping this couple to live better.
What are we looking at here? What are you highlighting?
We have a different kind of situation. First of all, we start, of course, with the sleeping room. In the sleeping room, for instance, we're showcasing how a mattress, an anti-snoring mattress, can really fight the snoring in using a very interesting technology, which is detecting the snoring and then adapting the mattress. And we also are showcasing that within the mattress, if the information about the way you slept are transmitted to the family doctor, then you can really prevent diseases. And last but not least, always in the sleeping room, we are showcasing a fertility bracelet that is helping a couple to have baby, in presenting the fertility peaks of the woman in the couple. So those are good examples, to showcase how come the technology is there to help us. And this is a very important thing, because in Europe, I feel that the people are, sometimes they have their doubts about this digitalization, these 5G antennas in Switzerland and so on, for instance. So we have to showcase them that at the end of the day, tech is there for the good.
One of the big challenges that we are facing, I think, in Switzerland is how to retain the technology and the talent, how to keep it in the country. How do you propose that this could be done better?
Right, I think you're raising a very touchy question. You're raising at the end of the day the question of investment, of venture capitalists. And I would say if we're more precise, the question is how come investors could reach the small and medium enterprises? Because the big one, they have the tech, and they're not leaving Switzerland. It's the small one. The small one, they are a startup, and then you have this difficult moment to become a scale-up. So we are here in order to give them visibility, and visibility means maybe finding of venture capitalists and investors. So this is what they need: better marketing, better visibility, in order to not leave Switzerland to find the fundings.
Technology from both EPFL and ETH present at the Swiss pavilion. But how important is it really for universities to be here? We caught up with President Joël Mesot of ETH on his first time here at VivaTech. What is your overall impression?
I mean, this is great to be here. Thank you to have this discussion with you. And I'm overwhelmed by what I'm seeing. I'm impressed by the number of Swiss companies that are here. So we give a very good image of Switzerland and of ETH, of course, by being here.
Do you feel like we're putting a good foot forward into the world?
Yes. So, you know, ETH is well known in the scientific world, and maybe in France not so much. So it was important for us to be here. We are here with different startups. Also, the government is here and is presenting the best technologies of Switzerland, and we try to have an impact this way.
One of the innovations that is really getting a lot of buzz and has been really talked about is an ETH robot, ANYmal, which I've had the pleasure already of profiling in Zurich.
Oh.
But yes, it's been amazing. It's really gotten a lot of attention.
In general, Switzerland is very strong in robotics, in artificial intelligence. Those two things are going really together. And we have a number of initiatives at the research level supported by the government. And there are two poles of excellence in Switzerland. One in Zurich at ETH, around ETH, and the other one in Lausanne around the EPFL. And we are really connecting the two worlds. And this is our strength. We have developed a lot the startup scene in the past 10, 15 years. So it started by changing the spirit of our students and our researchers so that they also think about creating a product at the end of the line. This we have done very well. For example, last year, just for ETH, we had 27 startups that were created, and half in the field of artificial intelligence, digital sciences, I would say. So this is developing very well. The first funding, venture capital for this startup, is easy to find now in Switzerland. The scene has been developing very well. What is now more difficult is, as you said, the scale-up.
And actually big news for an ETH startup recently, right?
Yes, so one of our startup just got recently big investment of $480 million. So this is big thing for Switzerland, this is big thing for ETH Zurich and Zurich, and this is in the field of tourism. Get Your Guide is the name of the startup, and this startup will allow to organize better the travels for everyone.
To finish up, you just completed a tour of VivaTech. What did you see that really caught your eye?
So beyond the Swiss startup that I saw here, what impressed me, and this is important for us to realize and to know, the rest of the world is not sleeping. So I saw many French institutions developing extremely fast, investing in startups, pushing their researchers to take sabbaticals, for example, to create their own companies. So we need to watch what's happening and take the best from all our competitors.
So aside from everything happening in these halls during VivaTech, there are dozens of side events that are taking place all over Paris. For example, at the Swiss Embassy, where we had a chance to catch up with Swiss pioneer Bertrand Piccard. Bertrand Piccard, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's such a pleasure.
For me also. If we speak of innovation, you know, it's a topic I love.
All right, so let's get to it. We'll start with VivaTech, VivaTech 2019. I saw you at the Swiss booth having a look. What do you think about the way that Switzerland is portraying itself?
Switzerland is showing itself as innovative, but also with joy, with laughter, with smile, with jokes, and it really cuts the impression that Switzerland is always very serious. So I like it.
And do you feel like we're putting our best foot forward in terms of the technology that we're showing and emphasizing smart living, for example?
Well, it's a showcase of what exists. But maybe if you want to understand the innovative spirit of Switzerland better, you have to understand that Switzerland is a small country and it's a stimulation to do very good. It's a stimulation for excellence. And the innovation in Switzerland is very regularly having a purpose of making life better. You know, it's not innovation for innovation, it's innovation to do good. And I think this is one of the main explanations for which Switzerland is so successful in terms of innovation.
So you think we are a country that innovates for good?
Yes, they innovate for good. They innovate on the human side also. The network of startups, the network between private and public partnerships, between small companies together. You know, I think nobody can do it alone. They know it, so they make networks. And when I had to launch the Solar Impulse project, there was immediately the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, the EPFL, who supported it, and a lot of startups. And this type of spirit I like, all the people who try to achieve what nobody has done before.
Well, Switzerland certainly has done a lot of that in terms of pioneering on many levels, especially in terms of technology. Just two pieces of technology. We saw ANYmal and also the exoskeleton TWIICE, also from EPFL. Those are two of the technologies to watch, according to VivaTech itself.
Yes, you know, the exoskeleton, it's an innovation in emotion as much as technology. When this paraplegic lady stood up with the exoskeleton, I think people were feeling really moved, not only admiring the carbon fiber moving, but also just what it gives as an impression that a paraplegic people can move, can walk.
Really an amazing thing to witness, I would say. Speaking of amazing, what else did you take away from VivaTech, from what you saw? What else really struck you?
There is one really interesting thing I saw. It was not just in VivaTech, but it was yesterday at the Tech for Good, organized by President Macron. HP will put on the market in 2 years a computer where the information is not brought by electrons, but by light, which is a total disruptive way of computing. You need less energy, it goes faster, you need a completely new model. And this I like, because the paradigm is electricity is about electrons moving. And they break the paradigm and they put light moving and transmitting the information.
And that is it for us here on Tech Talk from VivaTech in Paris. I'm Maria Montero. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.